Hello my dear students, welcome to another video on inorganic semi-micro analysis. This is the fifth video on inorganic semi-micro analysis. So let's see. So here, like video number 4 on inorganic semi-micro analysis, here also I am going to discuss 3 multiple choice questions with the explanation of the concept, and I am going to give you 8 important Viva Voce questions whose answers are written on the slides. So let's start. So this is the second part of this multiple choice question and Viva Voce question, and this is the continuation of the fourth video. So let's start. So, multiple choice question number 1. In which set of metals among the followings the first metal responds to flame test and borax bead test, second metal responds to flame test but not borax bead test, third metal responds to borax bead test but not flame test, and fourth metal responds neither to flame test nor to borax bead test. Options are given. So here the correct answer is option B. Fine, let me explain. What is the condition? First metal responds to flame test and borax bead test. See, copper. Copper, though it is transition metal, it is not S block element, but still it gives the flame coloration. Already I explained, because copper chloride is uniquely volatile, and moreover, this copper, it has the electronic configuration like this. To gain the stability, this 3D orbital becomes fulfilled. So electronic configuration is like this. This electronic configuration allows the copper metal for easy thermal excitation. That means this thermal energy of this flame can excite the electrons, and copper gives the flame coloration in the visible range. Now what is the second part? Second metal responds to flame test but not borax bead test. See, second metal here it is calcium. Calcium is the alkaline earth metal or S block elements. It gives the flame test. We know that calcium flame color is brick red color, which is transient. Okay. Now coming to the third one. Third metal responds to borax bead test but not flame test. Here the third metal is cobalt, which is transition metal. So it gives the borax bead test but it cannot give the flame test because it is transition metal. And the fourth metal responds neither to flame test nor to borax bead test. Here the fourth metal is beryllium. Beryllium, though it is the first member of alkaline earth metal, that is S block elements, it cannot give the flame test, and it cannot give the borax bead test because it is not transition metal. Already explained this one, why beryllium cannot give the flame test, because beryllium is the first member of this group whose size is small, so nuclear charge density is more, therefore electrons is strongly bound, and this thermal excitation with the thermal energy of the flame is not possible for these electrons. Here the excitation will be possible with the higher energy, which will not fall into the visible range. Now coming to the second question. Which of the following metal shows coloration in cobalt nitrate charcoal cavity test, and what is the composition of the colored product? Think about it. Here the correct answer is aluminium. Why? In charcoal cavity test, you have seen that we heat the compound with sodium carbonate, whereby carbonate of the metal is formed, which decomposes to metal oxide, and oxides are colored. Okay, give the colored oxides. But in some metals like zinc, calcium, barium, strontium, aluminum, magnesium, these oxides or this residue are not colored. These oxides are white. Okay. When the residue or oxides in this charcoal cavity test is white, then you have to add little cobalt nitrate. Then what happened? This cobalt nitrate on heating, because you are heating this one, no? On heating, it decomposes to cobaltous oxide. And this cobaltous oxides reacts with this white oxides of this metal, what I told, here it is aluminium, that is Al2O3, and gives the compound like this. For aluminium, the compound will be this one. And for aluminium, this color of this compound is blue. It gives the blue color, these compounds. Okay. Now coming to the third multiple choice question. A metal gives violet colored bead in borax bead test under oxidizing flame but loses the color in reducing flame. So it gives the violet colored bead in the oxidizing flame. On heating with sodium carbonate and potassium chlorate or potassium nitrate, infused sodium hydroxide produces green color, which when acidified with nitric acid develops the pink color. The metal is. Think about it. Here the answer is manganese. The metal is manganese. Okay. Now, in the borax bead test, when this manganese, when it is heated in the oxidizing flame, then what happened? This manganese plus 2 ion is oxidized to manganese plus 3 ions. Okay. And in manganese plus 3, in this ion, unpaired electron is there and DD transition is easily possible. So we'll get the colored bead in the visible range, colored borax bead. And this manganese 3, it forms, we know that colored bead is due to the metaborate formation. So here the violet colored metaborate of manganese 3 is formed. That means this one, Mn3, then VO2, sorry, not Mn3, MnVO2 whole 3. This is the metaborate of manganese 3, which is violet in color. But in the reducing flame, what happened? This Mn plus 3 reduces to Mn plus 2. Okay? And Mn plus 2 means it becomes the colorless. Then it forms the colorless orthoborate. So this one in the reducing flame, Mn3 BO3 whole 2. Here manganese is in the plus 2 state and it is orthoborate and it is colorless. Okay. Now coming to the second part. Second part is the fusion test. In the fusion test, what happened? This manganese oxide which is formed, it reacts with either sodium carbonate or sodium hydroxide, any way you can write, and oxygen which comes from potassium chlorate and forming the sodium manganate. MnO4 and this is green color. And this sodium manganate on acidification with nitric acid, it is oxidized to permanganate. So it is oxidized to permanganate whose color is pink. Okay. So the answer is manganese. Now coming to the second part of Viva Voce question. Another 8 questions, you will find it here. So questions with answers are given. I'm not going to read it out the answers. First question, what's the color of the residue when zinc salt is heated? Second question, which flame is used in charcoal cavity test? How is it obtained? Third question, why should we avoid excess cobalt nitrate in cobalt nitrate charcoal cavity test? Fourth question, what is the composition of the glassy bead formed on heating borax in borax bead test? Now, fifth question, can reagent be used in the solid state for the test of ions? Sixth question, what is centrifuge? Seventh question, what is centrifugate? Eighth question, why hydrochloric acid is used in flame test? So, these are the 8 questions and these are all important Viva Voce questions. Hope this video will be useful to you. Thank you.